Eddie Jones says he was committed to staying on as Wallabies coach, but that a lack of resources from Rugby Australia forced him to walk away. For more, I'm joined by reporter Cody Kay. Cody, this was in an interview with the Nine Network. What's the latest on this saga now?
Well, the latest is that we finally heard something from Rugby Australia, which sent out a media release earlier this morning saying, yes, Eddie Jones has gone, we accept his resignation, which will officially wrap up on November 2025. But, I mean, the reality is that Eddie Jones is no longer the Wallabies coach. He quit over 24 hours ago now. In fact, he's not even in the country. He's over in the United Kingdom. Eddie has come out and said, look, I was 100% committed to the Wallabies. I wanted to stay. This is despite walking out on his contract with over 4 years of it remaining. And he said, look, what I needed to get Rugby Australia up and running, this idea of a centralised pathway system where all the states come together and essentially become subsidiaries of Rugby Australia, was never going to happen. So if it was never going to happen, what was the point in me hanging around? Which of course begs the question, does Eddie Jones have another job to go to? We know he's been linked to the Japan head coaching role, the vacant Japan head coaching role, while Australia were over in Paris competing at the World Cup. But there are certainly plenty of questions for Eddie to answer, and as far as he's concerned, he says, look, there is no job to go to, but I dare say we'll hear something on that in the very near future.
Well, I did want to go on, mate, but it was, commitments. Coaching a team's a bit like being in a marriage, mate. You need commitment from both sides. And, I was committed to change the team. Rugby Australia at the moment can't activate the resources, which are both financial and political, to get the change in place to make real change to Australian rugby.
So we are going to hear from Rugby Australia CEO Phil Waugh at about 2 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time today. So we'll get some sort of answer as to where the code goes to next in terms of their search for replacement from Eddie Jones. But there's so much work to be done. I mean, the Wallabies haven't won a World Cup for 24 years. They haven't won the Bledisloe for 22 years. There's a fair case to be made that, if anything, they've gone backwards over the last little while, and they've now got a World Cup on home soil in 4 years from now. So plenty of work to do for Rugby Australia.
Yeah, certainly. They need some Matilda's magic, don't they, Cody?
That'd help.
I reckon it might. We'll see you soon. We'll check in. That 2 p.m. media conference will be an interesting one.